네, 저희 바로 이어서 러너스 리그 2조 피칭 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 저희 멘토분들이 다들 착석해 주셨는데요. 한번 멘토분들 한 분씩 소개해 드리도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 아일럼인베스트 지연철 투자파트너님, 쿼타랩 최동현 대표님, 메가존클라우드 이주환 대표님, 네, 귀한 시간을 내주신 세 분께 다시 한번 감사 인사드리며 다음 컴업 스타즈를 만나보기 전 다시 한번 진행 방식에 대해서 안내해 드리려고 합니다. 지금 피칭을 진행하고 있는 러너스 리그는 예비 창업가를 대상으로 한 올해 새롭게 신설된 컴업 스타즈 리그입니다. 러너스 리그 피칭은 2개 조 5개 사로 진행되며 평가가 아닌 선배 창업가와 투자자 멘토분들을 모셔 피드백을 들을 수 있는 자리를 마련했습니다. 각 기업들은 4분 발표 후 멘토분들의 피드백을 4분간 갖게 되는데요. 컴업이 글로벌 스타트업 축제인 만큼 해외에서도 많은 컴업 스타즈 분들이 참석해 주셨습니다. 영문 피칭을 편하게 들으실 수 있도록 객석 뒤쪽에 실시간 통역 QR코드를 준비해뒀습니다. 필요하신 분들은 뒤쪽에서 스캔하여 이용해 주시면 되겠습니다. 네, 그럼 2조에서 첫 번째로 만나볼 기업은 GOCIE입니다. Please join me in welcoming GOCIE to the stage for their presentation.
안녕하세요. 반가워요. Excellent. It's my pleasure to introduce the company GOCIE and tell you how do we leverage AI to unleash new level of actionable insights from user-generated content. But firstly, let's talk about the situation. Sorry, 1 second. Technical issues. Okay, there we go. But firstly, let's talk about the situation. I think it's no surprise that the companies these days are really struggling with the decision-making process. There's so many data points out there. It's very paralyzing for many of them. And there's no surprise. If we zoom in on social media alone, there are hundreds of millions or even billions of daily interactions on platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and X. Therefore, the companies are very data-rich, but information poor. If we zoom in and focus on the social media and social listening part, I think the problem becomes very apparent. Here you can see examples of some of our competitors. There are so many dashboards, so many data available. It's really overwhelming. The question is, so what? You look at this, it's very hard to make this distinction. Therefore, it's missing actionability, and that's the key issue here. Quite often, the companies have to hire consultants and researchers to tell them what does this actually mean. Moreover, currently, the companies are trying to be customer-centric, but they only have access to the marketing-focused data. What about all the other functions in the organizations that could benefit from it to drive business performance? Lastly, it's non-value oriented. How do you quantify the ROI of these dashboards? It's very difficult. Well, we think there is a better way to do it. And now, introducing GOCIE. We aggregate the most relevant online data sources, which are then translated, analyzed through various AI models to deliver 2 key products. The first one focuses on the large corporates primarily, where we provide actionable insights to all key departments within the organization, not just marketing. Second product focuses on the M&A professionals, where we provide value in the target screening due diligence process, but also provide portfolio monitoring capabilities for venture capitals and private equities. In essence, we provide AI-powered analytics supplemented with Gen AI insights, actionable insights creation. Think about automated competitive positioning. Think about consumer wish lists, issue identification, recommendation to improve business performance, not just dashboards. Effectively, we operate an intersection of social listening, consumer research, and mergers and acquisitions. And I believe we're well positioned to disrupt this area because of the value we provide. Speaking of, when you think about it, all of our data points can help improve the overall customer satisfaction. You minimize the negative experiences and optimize the positive ones. We can do it 90% cheaper and 10 times faster than some of our competitors. We primarily focus on the subscription model, but we also have one-off payments, primarily for the M&A clients when it comes to the target screening process. I think it's very interesting to look at the trends, because all our data inputs come from the online data sources, and we're very fortunate that there are so many of them. But we're even more fortunate that they're going to continue growing over the next 7 years at 12–13% CAGR. Therefore, the more inputs we have in the future, the better our models can be trained and provide better outputs. Hence, it's a very future-proof system. Next, we focus on the landscape. You have seen some examples of our competitors in the problem section, and these actually make hundreds of millions of revenue. Some of them have raised hundreds of millions as well. What's very interesting is that there's a high willingness to pay for these products, and it's a very M&A active area. The size of the market for the social listening alone is $8 billion, growing at 10% CAGR over the next few years. Lastly, about our team, we are a set of strong individuals coming from leading companies of the world with global experience and also top educational centers. At the same time, we have very strong partnerships with company UseThat, and we have recently also won an award at Amazon competition. Therefore, we believe that with our team, our partners, we will continue to grow it into a tremendous solution. On this note, I would like to say 감사합니다, and I would like to invite everyone to our H22 stand where we can showcase the demo as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Now we'll proceed with the feedback from our mentors.
Hello. Thank you so much for the presentation. I have a few quick questions. So first of all, you mentioned that the potential customers could be companies that create their own products, and also you also mentioned investors as potential customers as well. It seems like those two are very different. So in terms of for example, like the outputs that they might expect, the results of these like so-called like insights. It seems like these might be very different. So I was wondering like what would be a bit more of a higher priority for your case, and how it would scale out to other customers in the future.
Yep, so you're absolutely right, but I think the objective is also to improve business performance. So I think the objective for both is the same. For the first part, we primarily target companies because we have more use cases for them, because we can provide value to the marketing, to the HR, to supply chain, to quality teams, product development, and everyone else. So we can just onboard more users, which is obviously better for us. Nonetheless, we also target M&A professionals because, frankly, they have very high willingness to pay, and they actually approach us as well, seeking for such a solution. Because currently, voice of consumer and voice of employees, it's very underutilized within the M&A space. Therefore, it's a big opportunity for us. And we also think of it in a two-step process, because quite often the private equity we've spoken with, they like the solution, they want to onboard it, and they also believe that their companies, portfolio companies, can benefit from it. So we see them as our clients, but also our salespeople towards their companies. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for your pitch. I have a simple question. On social media, there are often many promotional posts. Am I right? And how could you filtering that to your conclusions?
Yes. So we have a very advanced scraping capabilities, both through API and our own scrapers. And of course, before we put the data into our systems, we have to clean them properly. So we are definitely searching for all of these things to be cleaned up accordingly. At the same time, quite often we have millions of data points. Therefore, having, let's say, 1-2% of promotional posts by accident is not a big issue. But of course, we're trying to bring it down to the zero. And with the current capabilities of technology, we are able to do it so far relatively without impacting any kind of business performance output.
I have one question. What are your technical differentiation?
So I think for us, the technology comes from multiple places because we leverage so much of it to deliver this type of outputs and make sure we can provide our distinguished advantage in terms of having this actionable insights in the first place and empowering different departments to benefit from it. So for us, I would say it's a comprising of multiple technologies coming together to really build these solutions that works cohesively to drive this performance. So I would say that's the main advantage here. And of course, we started with different MVP, but right now we're at the stage where we can really benefit from the latest and greatest technology of some of our partners. And I think this is kind of our key technology point.
If there aren't any more questions, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you for the insightful feedback. And once again, thank you for the excellent pitch. Thank you.
감사합니다.
네, 다음으로 만나볼 기업은 로컬입니다. Please join me in welcoming LOCOL to the stage for their pitch.
Cows burp and fart a lot, and that is actually hurting our planet. How, right? Well, because every time when cow releases a gas, that gas from burping and farting is actually methane. And this methane is actually more potent than carbon dioxide, 25 times greater. So that is like a lot of gas coming out from cows, from the cattle industry. So if you imagine to put every single cow in this planet into one country, this cow country would turn into the third-ranked most emitting greenhouse gas to this whole wide world. So what should we do now? Should we just all together stop eating beef altogether to help save the planet? Well, this is actually good news because researchers have found that red seaweed can actually reduce methane in the cow's stomach by using the red seaweed. And this idea has sparked many ideas of like startups that attract many investors all around the world, even Bill Gates. But it is very unfortunate, it's very sad that we can't use it in tropical regions or hot climate places or like country like Thailand. Because over 600 million cattle right there, we can't use red seaweed because red seaweed can only be cultivated in cold water regions. So that's the reason why our team comes in. LOCOL has discovered a groundbreaking solution by using extract from cocoa waste in order to reduce methane emissions in cow stomach. So not only that we can help reduce methane in the cow stomach, it can also help with increase with productivity up to 9%, leading to faster cattle growth and also better quality meat. So what is more interesting about our solution is that the cocoa that we use is actually waste. So imagine 4.6 million tons of cocoa each year that is being thrown out away. We take that, we give it to cows to eat, they reduce methane and help save the world. So all is a win-win situation for everyone, every single stakeholder in the ecosystem. So for our business model, we will buy the cocoa from the cocoa farmers, which are waste, completely waste. We turn it into our innovation. Then we will sell it to cattle farms, and then we will ask them to collect data and use that data to claim carbon credits. And this is our plan in the future. So we want to develop our local idea in Thailand to make it strong first by 2030. And then we will scale up across ASEAN +3, including Republic of South Korea, with many possibility of alternative local feed, and then eventually expand to tropical regions countries by 2035. And we see high potential in scaling this because we have over 600 million cattle in tropical regions, and we aim to generate up to $9.5 million by 2031 in revenue. And behind all this is a group of young students who have a shared vision with lots of hands-on experiences, united by the shared vision of uplifting the local communities. And right now, we are making our idea to execution. It has already taken shape in the northern part of Thailand called Nan province, where we test out our prototypes of our medicated leg block and also the web application, which is very farmer friendly, and also working alongside with experts who are professors in the field of cocoa and also cattle farming and carbon credits. And with our supply chains partners, that makes our vision a little closer to reality. All of this make LOCOL truly local. Local in this sense is not only about the local ingredients, but also the local people, the local community we aim to uplift. Beyond mitigating waste and methane reductions, we are lifting farmers from poverty, increasing income for cocoa farmers, elevating the beef industry, and most importantly, contributing to a more sustainable world. So the more local grows, the more sustainable world becomes. So let's change the world together with LOCOL. Low carbon beef, lifted farmer's life. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the exciting pitch. We'll proceed with the feedback from our mentors.
Thank you so much for the very energetic presentation.
Thank you very
I think
much.
we had lots of fun adhering to it. My question is, since I would say I'm not a professional in this industry, so my question might be a little bit dumb, but how is it well aligned with the farmers? Like, for example, like lowering like carbon emission, like I don't know if that's helping the farmers gain more revenue, for example. Like, how is this well aligned so that the farmers will be incentivized to purchase more of the product?
Okay, so first of all, we give the supplement. So the supplement that we use from cocoa is basically way better than the things that they use nowadays. So they already have the feed that the cows eat each day. But what we're doing is we give them the more supplemental things. So cocoa with the tannin inside, they can reduce methane. And that it can lead to faster cattle growth as well, meaning that the cows will have like a better quality meat afterwards, so it would generate more income. So that's one point. And also another thing is that not only that they can help with the meat quality, but also it can help with the, the exposure of being, oh, I'm a sustainable farm, and we can also later claim carbon credits after that as well.
Yes, thank you for your exciting pitch.
Thank you very much.
Is there any issue with the low state of cocoa waste? Is that quickly spoil?
Sorry,
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah, quickly spoil the cocoa waste. Yes, this problem is an issue with the low state of cocoa waste used to make your product.
Oh, like you mean the lifespan?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what we're doing is that we can open up the medicated lick block that we use. So what we do is we dry it out and make it extract and put it in the lick block. The lick block is basically the little thing. If you see in the presentation, they can lick it out, so that can stay for years because we already extracted out. So if it's like the real cocoa thing that we use, it's the fresh one, they might have some expiry date. But this one, we extend the longer expiry date for them. That's the lick block that we use. So we have two innovation of the real extract one, and also that is the medicated lick block.
Thank you for your pitching. Do you have an actual client or revenue?
Oh yeah, so right now we just started and we just go out and try to find fundings. And so if anyone here also interested, we can talk later on about future plans that we can also collaborate in the future as well. And right now we just started out and doing research and all the patent, everything with the expert in the field, professors. So right now it's only from the lick block side. Yeah.
If there aren't any more questions, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, LOCOL, for the exciting pitch. Once again, thank you for the excellent pitch. We'll move on to the next startup.
Thank you very much.
네, 저희 다음으로 만나볼 기업은 테크노벨레로 SL입니다. Please join me in welcoming Tecnovelero SL to the stage for their pitch. Hello.
Hello. Hello, my name is Javier Lavernia. I'm coming from Spain. I'm the CEO of Tecnovelero, and we are experts in urban mobility based on hydrogen. So that is what we can see every morning when we are arriving or leaving our cities, our big traffic jam, where there's a lot of smoke, and we can see that the cars are oversided. Even the average occupancy in global average occupancy is 1.2 persons 90% of the time in a single trip. And we have to pay attention that the speed limit are between 50 and 20. So high voltage versus high pressure. That looks like a James Bond title movie is the reality. The total cost of one battery pack in an electrical car can cost up 40% of the total cost of the car in a single component. And if we're going to fuel cell vehicles, we have the same problem. They're working at 700 bars, and this technology are so high, and the cost of the final product are high as well. So the solution that we present here is the swapping system low pressure tanks for a sustainable mobility. The customer arrives to the service point, intercharge the empty tank for the full hydrogen tank, and continuous. That we call it plug and go, with 400 kilometers of autonomy. This is the market that we searched before coming here to the COMEUP, and we have to be focused on the Asia-Pacific market, that is the biggest one, North America, some cities of North America, and Europe, with a SOM of almost 4 billion euros. If we go in deep to the wonderful Korean market, we think that we have the possibility to implement 31,000 units that correspond to 430 millions. This is the natural upgrade from sharing electrical skates to motorcycle sharing to our Virante car sharing. And in our car, you are going to be more comfortable in winter, in the long winter of Korea, that is 4 months with a really, really hard winter, and more safety because we have developed and we achieved the patent for this system that we call it E-type system, that is a tiering system that gives the behavior of the car as a motorcycle. There are existing similar solutions in market, but all for a 3-wheelers. Our car are 4-wheelers, and all of them has a electronic device. In our case, it's a mechanical device, so we don't have any risk of malfunction in the future. This is the technical table of our competitors. We have to remark that all of them are electric cars, and our solution are hydrogen. This is the team. We have an exceptional CTO, PhD, industrial engineer in hydrogen, and our R&D manager has a lot of experience in the development of platforms specific for hydrogen cars. That are the milestones remarked achieved until today, and we have to remark several awards. We are members of the European Clear Hydrogen Alliance, the big company of Europe for the development of hydrogen, and of course the COMEUP award of this year.
Thank you. We'll wrap it up here due to time limit. Thank you for the exciting pitch. Now we'll proceed with the feedbacks with the mentors.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for your wonderful pitch. Yes. I have a simple question.
Yes.
How could you convince customers that it's safe? Korea is a few years ago was accident in the hydrogen stations. We have experienced. How convinced the customers did it?
Well, are not are safety as you have a standard car with gasoline, with a tank of gasoline in your bag of 60 liters. Are not different of that. The risk is the same, and we implement that we call it 2 electrical nodes in order to detect if we have any leak of hydrogen in the full system. So the technology is already in the market. Hyundai has the Hyundai Nexo, but he has the tanks inside of the car. In our case, it's a swapping system and low pressure. So we think that technology are already, and there are no risks of that.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I have no doubt the team is professionals for this area. My question is, so for these automobile industries, my guess is it's not just the vehicle itself, but also the infrastructure that's important to sustain the whole business. So for example, like charging stations for these hydrogens and stuff, what's your point of view of also creating the ecosystem and the infrastructure so that more people will be willing to buy the product?
Fantastic question, because we have put all our hopes on the electrical car, and we think that is not the correct way to transport the technology for the standard cars to another kind of technology. The technology, we have a lack of infrastructures in hydrogen, are so expensive. If you want to feed hydrogen in a car, the station costs from 3 to 15 million. So it's difficult to implement if you don't have a really demand about that. In our case, the prices are so attractive, and we don't need to develop this kind of network because the network exists. We will develop in the same gas stations. We can put our product as another core business in one corner with a metallic house, and that's all that we need. So it's easy to go to market with our solution.
Thank you for your presentation. I have one question. How many units have you operated so far until now?
Until now,
Yes.
we already started the development 3 years ago, and we already have the technology for the tilting system with a patent in 1 unit prototype in Spain, my country. But this unit is electrical, it's fully electrical. We've seen in 2021 that the future was more for hydrogen, because we think that we have to give an opportunity to another energetic vector, because not all the people can achieve a standard electrical car. And that is the main reason that the automotive industry in Europe are in a big crisis. This is my point of view.
Thank you for all the questions. Once again, thank you for the excellent pitch.
Thank you so much.
네, 저희 현재 많은 해외 스타트업 분들도 참가를 하고 계신데요. 혹시 방금 들어오신 분들께서는 뒤쪽에 이제 실시간 통역 QR 코드가 마련되어 있어서 혹시 스캔이 필요하신 분들은 스캔해서 통역 확인해 주시면 되겠습니다. 네, 네 번째로 만나볼 기업은 에어로훌러입니다. Please join me in welcoming Aerohauler to the stage for their presentation.
How much do you think it costs to ship this 5-kilogram box from South Korea to the Netherlands by air? In 2018, it cost about $180 US. In 2020, it cost about $200. And today, it costs about $250 US. Rising air cargo costs are driven by rising operating costs and inefficiencies of cargo aircraft. And the costs are passed down to consumers and businesses. My name is Zach, co-founder and CEO of Aerohauler, and we are building a sustainable cargo aircraft in a market worth over $20 billion per year. We have identified 2 critical problems in the air cargo industry. First, it is unsustainable economically and environmentally. Cargo aircraft emitted 93.8 million tons of carbon dioxide just in 2023. And rising operating costs are giving low profit margins to cargo airlines. Another problem is the outdated technology used in cargo aircraft. Current cargo airlines rely on passenger aircraft designed 75 years ago, just retrofitted for cargo. However, we see this as a market opportunity. While there are over 2,500 cargo aircraft in service today, to be worth about over $200 billion US, this is only less than 1% of the total global trade in volume, where 90% is shipped through sea. However, if we are able to provide a sustainable and cost-efficient cargo aircraft, we believe this percentage will increase, and the total value of the market will increase accordingly. So how do you do this? We present the AH-30, a new type of cargo aircraft powered by hydrogen to solve these problems. The AH-30 is purposely built for cargo from the beginning. Our aircraft design has a blended wing body, which allows us to carry large liquid hydrogen tanks, which is crucial for hydrogen aviation. We believe that liquid hydrogen will be the alternative solution for sustainability and cost efficiency in the future. And engine manufacturers are already developing these hydrogen combustion engines. With the AH30, we are creating a new economic model for sustainable air cargo. This is the founding team. We both have aerospace engineering and startup backgrounds. And especially our CTO, he brings in the hydrogen aviation expertise as he was the former head of engineering at a hydrogen cargo drone company. Within 3 months of launch, we are already collaborating with global research institutions, aerospace hubs, airports, and industry experts, including a former VP of sustainability at YLEM. We have a clear roadmap. We aim to build a smaller version of the AH30 and put it into service by 2031, and the actual AH30 into service by 2036. Imagine a world where air cargo is cheaper, faster, and truly sustainable. Aerohauler is building that future in a market worth over $20 billion per year. And we are looking for investors to share our vision to transform the air cargo industry. Thank you.
Thank you for the insightful presentation. We'll proceed with the feedbacks from our mentors.
Thank you for your future talk. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And 한국어 가능합니다.
아, 예. 그러면 편안하게 질문 좀 드릴게요.
네네.
그 현재 지금 말씀하고 계신 그런 기술들을 사실 이제 이게 실질적인 시장에 적용하기 위해서는 굉장히 많은 난관들이 있을 거예요.
네, 맞습니다.
이제 이런 것들을 사실 우리가 개발해서 우리가 카고 회사로 가기보다는 어쨌든 이런 솔루션을 항공사에 제공을 하실 텐데
네네.
이미 애초부터 사실 자동차도 마찬가지고 초기 단계부터 이제 항공사랑 또 연계해서 사업화를 진행하셔야 될 걸로 알고 있어요.
맞습니다.
현재 좀 그런 논의를 하고 계신 항공사들이 있으실까요?
저희 현재로서는 저희가 마켓 발리데이션을 위해서 다양한 항공 화물사들이랑 인터뷰를 진행했고요. 아직 협력사는 아직 정해지지 않았고요. 앞으로 계속 노력할 계획입니다. 네, 그 부분 저희 동의하고 있습니다.
아, 네. 그럼
네.
혹시 말씀하셨던 항공사들은 있으세요?
네, KLM 항공사랑요, 그 대한항공 화물 쪽이랑요, 그리고 국내 에어인천이랑 시리우스 항공이랑도 이야기했습니다. 네.
저도 한국말로 그냥
네, 편하게 하세요. 지금 목이 쉬어가지고. 네.
뭐 어찌 보면 굉장히 큰 꿈을 갖고 이렇게 또 큰 뭐 혁신을 좀 이룰 수 있다라고 보는데요.
네.
또 거기에 이제 소비되는 시간의 이제 로드맵으로 이제 10년을 말씀 주셨다
네,
보니까
맞습니다.
좀 약간 다른 측면의 질문일 수 있을 것 같은데 그 10년이라는 시간이 뭐 짧다면 짧고 또 길다면 길다 보니 그 안에 그 처음 이거를 이제 하시게 된 그 문제점인 여러 가지 이제 그런 화물 운반 비용 이런 것들이 다른 요인으로 인해 줄어버려 가지고 저희가 원래 이거를 시작하게 된 계기가 저희 제품이 아닌 다른 시장 요인으로 해결이 돼버리는 그런 리스크도 발생할 수도 있을까요?
되게 좋은 질문인 것 같습니다. 그 부분에 있어서는 일단은 항공기가 역사적으로 봤을 때 과거 지금까지 봤을 때는 더 개선된 적이 없고요. 네, 인터뷰를 진행했을 때도 계속 오르면 올랐지. 특히 에어버스랑 보잉이 너무나 그 시장을 장악하고 있기 때문에 값과 을의 그 관계거든요. 그들이 부르는 값이 값이에요. 그래서 화물항공사들은 그들이 그 제공하는 항공기를 사용할 수밖에 없고요. 그래서 기체에서부터 나오는 그런 비용들이 너무나 큰데 다른 뭐 작은 서비스 그런 뭐 다른 솔루션으로는 크게 그렇게 차이가 없을 것으로 저희가 보고 있습니다. 네네.
네, 발표 말씀 잘 들었습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
네, 그러면 비즈니스 모델이 그 화물에 특화된 비행기를 디자인하셨고 아까 보여주셨던
네네.
AH30이라는 모델을 보여주신 것 같은데 이거에 대한 제조 역량이 핵심 역량이신가요? 아니면 이 화물 이런 그 차별화된 항공기를 기반으로 화물 비즈니스를 직접 하시고자 하는 건가요?
개발입니다. 개발 및 제작입니다. 네.
항공기를 직접
네,
화물에 최적화된 항공기를
네, 맞습니다.
개발하는 게
네, 지금 현재 그 비행기 제조사들 보면 그 화물 쪽에만 집중하는 그 제조사가 없어요. 그리고 많이들 동의하시는데 저희 그 업계에서는 화물이랑 여객기는 별도로 디자인이 돼야 된다. 왜냐면 같은 승객용 디자인으로는 화물 쪽으로 너무 비효율적이고 비용도 너무 많이 들고, 네, 약간 요트랑 화물 선박이랑 약간 디자인이 다른 것 같이 다르게 디자인이 되고, 그리고 안 그래도 에어버스랑 보잉은 여객기 너무 바빠요. 지금 10년치 주문이 밀려 있대요. 네, 그래서 이쪽에 좀 신경 써줄 제조가 또 필요한데 없다 보니까 그런 고충을 겪고 있습니다.
그럼 향후에는 직접 그 제조 시설도 이제 공장도
네, 맞습니다.
운영하실 계획이시군요.
네, 맞습니다.
네, 알겠습니다.
네, we'll wrap up the questions here. Thank you for the questions. Let's give it a round of applause to Aerohauler. 네, 마지막으로 만나볼 기업은 온라인으로 찾아와 주셨습니다. GravityX.bio입니다. Please join me in welcoming GravityX.bio online for their pitch.
Me.
Can you test your mic?
Hello.
Yes, all good.
Yeah. I can share my screen. Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, good evening. My name is Dileep Kumar, and my startup name is called GravityX.bio, Cancer Drug Discovery of Earth for Earth. Imagine a world where mysteries of space not only unlock the secrets of the universe, but also holds the key for the most pressing challenges here on Earth. What we do, GravityX.bio combines microgravity grown cancer 3D cell culture models in space and AI to translate drugs to clinical success. The problem is in research lab, 2D and 3D cell culture models are used. The 3D cell culture models are facing a problem with repeatability, reproducibility, and reliability, and fail to replicate full complexity of human tumors. To eradicate this problem, and we need a advanced preclinical model. That is why we are growing these 3D cell models in microgravity conditions. As you can see, in normal gravity, it pushed the cells downwards, but in simulated and microgravity conditions, everything floats. That is where we want to grow these cells in space. By doing this one, we're using a technology called microfluidic tumor on a chip system by using 3D breast cancer cell models as an initial strategy to screen drugs or drug combinations against these 3D models, and we want to provide alternative to animal testing. This is possible because space provides weightlessness, natural vacuum, extreme temperature, no contamination, and flawless mixing. Our value proposition is, as you can see on the screen, the whole preclinical stages take nearly about 60 months and cost up to 500 to 700 million. But what we do by combining AI and microgravity, we can do this one in 24 months in $200 million. And we have a great team, and everybody has a series of experience in microgravity research and building a biotech startups, and my partners are helping me to launch experiment into the space and AI facilities. And market opportunity is big. A total addressable market is 31.9 billion, and service available is 9.3, and we want to capture 20% of this market, which is 1.39 billion. And our business model is microgravity as a service provider, B2B. First, we target customers to understand the problem. Then we do experiments here on Earth by using simulated microgravity conditions to collect the preliminary data. Then we get the more insight about experiments. Then we launch experiment into the space to collect even further data and future directions of the project. So far, we got secured 50,000 euros from European Space Agency, and 2 companies already signed a LOI, letter of intent. One is Opportunity Therapeutics from USA with 5 million and Test Blue for 500,000, and one company is already in talks, and we are engaging a revenue model. We engage in exclusive contract, revenue sharing, and royalty agreements. The short-term business goals are initial partnerships with research institutes and small biotech companies to do the pilot projects. In order to do that one, we are overall looking for 2 million by 2030, and for 2025, we need 500K to prove the concept and send the experiment into the space. We are working with a purpose, vision, and mission where microgravity grown cell models available to everyone to eradicate disease completely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation. We'll proceed with the feedback from our mentors right away.
Yes. Thank you for your pitch. Yes. Will you secure a spacecraft equipped to your research instruments?
Yeah. What's the question?
Yes. Spacecraft. Will you secure the spacecraft?
Yeah, we already contact with SpaceX, and we already secured that contracts, and we are about to launch in 2026. We have enough funding, nearly about 500,000. So in that 500,000, 200 to 250 goes to the space, and it's gonna dock to the ISS, and we grow there, and we can bring them back.
Thank you so much for the presentation. As a person who has no, I would say, like specific knowledge in this area, it seems like there's several approaches of these like drug discoveries for cancer.
Yeah.
To put it really simple, like how would you say yours is, I would say, more advanced or explicitly different from the other approaches that the other research teams are doing?
Yeah, and whatever the approach they are following, they are doing on Earth. First of all, you can't go against the gravity. Whatever the model you use, gravity gonna act upon them. But what we are doing, we are going outside the Earth, and when there is no pressure on the cells, they grow more uniformly, and it fully replicate the human tumor, which is what biotech pharmaceutical companies looking for. The more mimic the tumor, the more drug discovery will be. So that's the whole aim.
Thank you for your presentation. I have one question. Is your client a hospital?
That's one of the clients like research institute, hospitals, and biotech and pharma. But first, we are looking for biotech, small biotech companies.
Yes, understand.
Yeah, if I get a chance to speak with hospitals, it's a really big breakthrough.
If you're done with the questions, we'll move on to the last. There's no last startup pitching. Thank you for the presentation. GravityX.bio. Let's give it a round of applause to the GravityX.bio for their pitch. 네, 이렇게 러너스 리그 마지막 세션이 마무리되었는데요. 마지막까지 고생해주신 멘토 세 분께 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 이것으로 컴업 루키리그와 러너스 리그의 피칭 마무리하도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 피칭을 진행한 루키리그는 각 조의 1등과 2등 총 10개사를 선정하여 내일 진행하는 파이널 무대에서 다시 한번 발표를 진행할 예정입니다. 파이널에 진출한 10개사는 스테이지 4에서 진행되는 네트워킹 이벤트에서 지금 바로 진행되고 있으니 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 그럼 지금까지 사회를 맡은 구글 스타트업 캠퍼스 김예슬이었습니다. 감사합니다.